How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Here we go. I feel pumped, I feel motivated, but first we do have to talk about what song this video is brought to you by. Officially unsponsored Simple Plan's song Ruin My Life, off there, I think it was this year or last year. The album's like less than a year old. So I'm not gonna lie, the last few months, I would say probably the last 6 months, I have just been absolutely out of it. While I'm creating this content saying, hey, how do you want to be remembered? Hey, think about these things in your life. Hey, try, like, take action. You'll take spirited action. The whole Actio Spiritus. Actio Spiritus is Latin for the action of the spirit. And the tagline is, to quote, take spirited action. However, I was sitting there not taking spirited action with my life. I was really just kind of quarter-assing everything I've done. We've talked on the channel before that a good life motto is to not half-ass anything, or not half-ass two things, but full-ass one thing at a time. And what's worse is I was actually just kind of accepting it. I wasn't really doing anything to get out of that rut. I was burnt out. I was just worn out. And I accepted it. And I was just like, well, this is what it is. And I would hide it and just tell people, no, things are great. And like, oh man, things are looking up and oh, it's wonderful. But man, I was stuck. So the last video, which I will link to right, what, up here in the cards, I think it is. The title was Your Own Worst Enemy, or Your Worst Enemy. The thumbnail said, unfuck yourself. I recorded that video 2 days after the conversation I had. I finally felt like I had a breakthrough moment. And I was just talking to a friend of mine who, you know, usually I talk to a couple times a week. But this person I hadn't talked to in a month. And they just reached out and they said, hey man, let me ask you something. You know, you haven't reached out in like a month. Are you okay? Because that's not like you. You know, you just haven't seemed like yourself lately. And you know, I had to sit there and tell them, like, you know, okay, here's the things that are actually going on. Here's what I'm struggling with right now. And being able to just say that to somebody that didn't really have any skin in the game beyond just making sure that I was good. In that conversation with them, I said, you know, I'm really just tired of jerking off in life. Like, I'm just, you know, like, I'm just really tired of half-assing everything. Just like saying that out loud, just something clicked, you know what I mean? And it was like a prescriptive answer to, like, why do I feel burnt out? Why do I feel all these different ways right now? Why don't I feel optimal right now? Well, because, you know, just screwing off and not like doing anything in life. It clicked when I said that. It was just like, that's your problem. You've been lying to yourself this whole time, saying, no, you're working hard. No, you're doing the best you can. No, you're not. I know that some people might hear that and think like, wow, that's, why are you talking to yourself like that? You should have that negative self-talk. And on one level, I agree. You know, negative self-talk is a problem, but I think lying to yourself is a bigger problem. I also made the critical mistake of thinking like, oh, I'm talking about these things in bike videos. I'm talking about these things, so therefore I must be doing them, right? No. Nope, I made the error of mixing up talking about things and doing things. So I would argue that it wasn't negative self-talk. It was just somebody, myself, finally just being brutally honest with myself about who I actually was being. My self-perception versus who I actually was had a gap, and I had to close that gap. So I mean, look, it's only been a week. I'm not gonna sit there and talk to you like I got this all figured out and this was years ago and I've been solid since then. No, it's only been a week. It's a weight off my shoulders. The irony of it is that I'm doing more this past week, working harder to put out more on my plate, trying to take on more responsibility in my life, and yet it feels like a burden's been lifted off my shoulders. It's amazing the weight of our lies that we tell ourselves, how much that can put on us. You know, in this video, I don't really have any advice, because I don't know if there is a whole lot of advice that I have beyond be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, are you actually walking the walk, or are you just talking the talk? Because I know a lot of us as entrepreneurs, right, are actually wantrepreneurs, and that we're not actually doing anything. We just like the busy work of it, and we're not doing anything to actually move our lives, our bloodline, our families, our communities forward. You know, the wonderful thing is, since that conversation that I had, I've got a content calendar built out for 3 different businesses, which is great. Recorded an episode of Implement Impact. Finally, it's back. I've now recorded a bike video, and I've actually just decided, like, you know what? I need to build momentum and keep it going. You know, it's way harder than keeping up your momentum, building it. Do the hard work to build the momentum. The easy work follows maintaining momentum. If you slack too many days in a row, your momentum's gone. And then you got to do all the hard work to build your momentum back up, when what we could have done is still done the hard work, but in much smaller doses to just keep that momentum going. Maintain, maintain, maintain. The snowball down the hill, right? That analogy that we've all seen in every cartoon ever. Starts small, grows, 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 rolls out of control. That's what you can do with your momentum. Start small, build, 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 but you got to keep it going. Got to keep it going, because if you don't, it stops and you're done. You didn't get that snowball to the bottom of the hill, right? You didn't reach the goal. You got to start all over again. It's a lot harder to keep going and going and going and going than it is to just keep that ball spinning. So when I'm sitting here and I sound like I'm pissed off, yeah, I am pissed off. And I want you to be pissed off, because when you get pissed off is when you can actually take control of your life. You got to finally have that moment. I'm done. I'm tired of this. So yeah, I'm pissed, mad at myself. And honestly, if you're not pissed at yourself, you're being complacent. And I know that as a person who's watching a video like this, especially if you made it to this point, you're not a complacent person. You know that you're meant for something more. You feel something deep in you, and you're like, man, I gotta make something fucking work. I'm meant for more than just nothing in my life. I know there's something there. I went this way because I really want to see how fast and how far we can roll down this hill. I try this like every other week. You know, don't really care about the speed, I care about the momentum. Again, doing all this hard work now so that when we hit this right after this road, how far can we roll? The goal is always to make it to the synagogue entrance. Sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't. So think about it in the metaphor of that hill bomb right there, right? So I haven't pedaled. Man, I bet you we're gonna make it to this phone pole or this power pole over here. I think that's how far we're gonna make it. Maybe the bus stop up here, we'll see. But folks, think about that. All of that hard work to pedal up that hill. It's always harder to pedal uphill than downhill, right? All of that hard work. And then coast all the way down. And look how far I'm making it because I put in that work up there. If I would have half-assed it all the way up that hill, wouldn't be making it this far. Now here's the cool part, all right? We made it past the bus stop. The cool part is that think of if I would have continued to put in the hard work of pedaling even down that hill, how far would I have made it before I hit a point of, man, you know what, we're back at pedaling and being real tough right now. How far could I have made it? Honestly, I've done it before. We would have made it all the way up to Lake Lansing Road. No doubt, easy. So while it was fun to coast, and that's a great activity to do on a bike, the metaphor stands. You put in all that hard work to roll up that hill, to pedal up that hill, to keep playing, all that startup work. Don't let it all go to waste by stopping. Keep pedaling, yeah. You can slow down a bit compared to how hard you were pedaling before. You could even, you know, step back on the intensity and you'll just keep going, and it makes everything so much easier. Yeah, you're gonna hit other hills where it's gonna require some work pushing again. But you get to those hills faster and better equipped and less tired than stopping and coasting, half-assing things, and then having to push really hard to get back up that next hill. Keep that momentum going and you'll keep rolling. All right, folks, thank you very much, as always, for taking the time to listen. I appreciate each and every one of you. Guys, stop half-assing your life. I know, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. Just telling you, from my experience. Learn from me, don't learn the hard way. Don't half-ass your life. Go for it. You're capable of something a lot more and a lot more special than what you're giving yourself credit for. And I can't wait to see what that is. Until next time, have a great day.